All right, MBC, we're back. We have friends. I'm your host, David McDonald. We got Miller, we got Blackman, we got Cleo. We got friends of the show, Mr. Frank McCaskill. We got actress Latesha Murphy. We got producer, actress April McDonald. We got producer, actress Stephania Shoemaker. About his week going good so far?
Yeah. Good.
All right, I want to get right into these questions.
Please.
All right.
Waste no time.
Okay, so as far as old age pregnancy goes, and we'll say anything old age of 45. Do y'all view that as a selfish act, or is that just something that happens every now and then? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Oops. So funny you say that, because one of my very best friends of like 22 years texted me right before this to tell me that she's pregnant.
Ooh.
So her
And we're
age
talking
is,
about she helped me raise my 22-year-old, okay? Her biological child is in high school, senior in high school. She's got a middle schooler, and she's now pregnant. And it might be twins.
oh wow.
How old is she?
For real.
Say what? How old is she?
Yeah, how old is she?
We just both turned 39, so we're only a couple days apart ourselves. But I'm just thinking, like, at 39, starting over, are you kidding me? I don't know if it would be, like, selfish. What?
I said twins at 39. Damn.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know if it's selfish or more or less it's like, you've been with the guy for 11 years and now you want to get pregnant? You know, like she thought she was in perimenopause, like that stage where everything starts to change.
Yeah.
It's not selfish at all.
Yeah.
It's not selfish.
If alcohol is involved, then it's not selfish. I mean, stuff happens.
It's selfish either way. It's not selfish for them. It's selfish for the kid to be grown up by an old person.
How you figure that?
But if you look at it,
That's grandma's age, man.
Hey, no, it's not.
No,
Did you know?
39, grandma age.
Leave the Cleo to stir the pot.
You're gonna be like 55 when the child is like 10.
Okay, so Cleo.
Exactly.
So Cleo, you're saying that's selfish?
Yeah, it's selfish. Selfish for the kids.
No, it's not.
So
And if you got older kids, they will never know the brothers and sisters. They'll know them, but they will never know them.
The kid didn't have no choice in the matter.
Say what?
So how can you say that's the kid?
No, not
is
the kid
selfish.
is selfish. The kid ain't selfish. The kid ain't got nothing to do with it. We're talking about the parent.
Oh, you saying
so okay, so Cleo,
This nigga can breastfeed. It's okay.
She's getting dust.
So Cleo, I'm hearing you say you're basing that answer, that response strictly on just age.
Just off age.
So what if it's an accident?
Ain't no such thing as an accident.
Ain't no such thing as an
When
accident.
you lay down, you know you got a possibility of getting pregnant if you ain't on nothing. There ain't never no accident when you have sex.
But every time
people
you have sex, you ain't trying to get pregnant.
Yeah, it's funny he said
Like,
that. It's funny he said that. He said, ain't no accident we having sex.
No, it ain't no accident. Ain't nobody never laid down and had a baby on no accident.
And it was just telling me that today. You know, it's funny because that's why I look so wholesome, you know, because I was in service, I was in church, you know, and the pastor was talking about that. He said that's the number one thing that nobody can enter the kingdom of heaven because sexual immorality. He said because sex is something that you had to like literally plan out. You thought about it. You had to get a location. You had to get comfortable with the person. You know, he said you done went through like 10 stop signs. So basically, you like, I don't care. I'm sleeping with this person. I'm doing me.
I don't know about that.
I mean,
It's true.
Now, you know, I mean, there's tons of documented cases. People get pregnant on IUD. People get pregnant on birth control. I mean, what about those cases?
Yeah, that's
every one of them tell you ain't nothing than 100%. Every one of them. You ain't found no now one say 100% yet. Not even when you tie your tubes and all that other good stuff.
Abstinence. That's the only.
That's the key.
Effectiveness.
You can still get pregnant when you too, child. So
I want another child.
100%.
I want another. You know, I have 3, and I'm in that situation. I'm 41, and I have my children in my 20s. So they're 13, 16, and 17. So like, you know, I'm at that perfect age. Like I'm 41, the kids are I could like live now. Like all my 20s was gone. You know, raising kids. Half of my most of my 30s. I'm sorry, half of my 20s. All of my 30s gone. So I didn't get to travel, do nothing. But then now I feel like I'm a little bit more mature. I'm a little bit more calm. And I feel like, okay, you know, I want to have a baby. You know, like I'm in a different stage. And some women are in different stages in their life where at that stage you were so young, you didn't really get to enjoy your child. I didn't get to enjoy my children.
Make it about your grandbaby. Make it about your grandbaby.
I gotta wait another 2 years.
You keep quiet over there.
So wait, Cleo. So you trying to rush your grandbaby? You trying to rush your kids to have kids now?
Right.
No, but she will have a whole lot more fun than trying to have one to make her kids take care of it and or whatever.
Right. Because you know they're gonna be babysitting.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, so hey, Anthony, so when's child number 3 coming?
Huh? I don't know.
Hey, Dad, no.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, this why I say alcohol is a big problem with pregnancy. You dig what I'm saying? So it was one night, we already had our first child. My wife, my first child was asleep. So me and my wife like to drink. You know? So we decided, because when we get drunk, all hell breaks loose. When we get drunk, all hell breaks loose. So we decided, all right, look, I'm gonna stay downstairs and drink. You gonna go upstairs and drink. And we FaceTime each other. So we drinking on FaceTime, talking, stuff like that. And we didn't want each other. Both of us had to go to the bathroom. All the bathrooms in the house, we ended up going to the same bathroom. Boom, child number 2. Yeah.
That was playing.
That was somebody playing.
That was playing.
Yeah, that was playing. That was
like AJ. You need to explain this. Y'all are in the
got to the bathroom first,
right?
Same house.
The bathroom first.
Hey, look here. I'm gonna tell you. So same house. All of a sudden, I was like, "Babe, hold on. I'll be back. 1 second." Boom. I ain't tell her what I was finna do. She thought I was going to the refrigerator or something like that. I guess she took that as her time to go to the bathroom too. Next thing you know, my wife look good regardless of the alcohol, even if I'm not on alcohol.
See,
you dig what I'm saying?
But you know, hey, so
ball game.
I mean, with that last statement, AJ, I'm kind of like James. I think y'all were role playing.
No,
right?
What kind of role playing is that?
But that's
how many roles
How many roles you got?
That's what I'm saying.
No, he's preparing for all his future roles.
Apparently.
That wasn't
obviously.
Well, I didn't plan it. The alcohol plan. I didn't plan it.
Yeah,
alcohol.
Your wife.
No alcohol involved. Oh man, cut that mess out.
He said, "Blame it on the liquor."
I'm telling you the truth. It was the alcohol. Man.
Or your wife.
So, hey James.
Hey, you right. I need to talk to her about this.
So James, am I hearing you say you agree with Cleo about it being selfish?
No, it's not selfish at all. Because you got to realize, okay, I did some research earlier today about that when I Googled it. It says when a woman has a baby, the brain benefits. Study found out that having a baby at a later age can improve verbal and memory and solving problems. It's more efficient for the baby.
You just agreed with me. It's all about the selfish woman, not the baby.
It ain't about no damn selfish woman, man. Hey, put this shit on me. I mean,
it's all about the woman.
You.
Okay,
it ain't all about the mother.
What was the benefit for the baby?
Hey, what you mean the benefit?
What was the benefit of the baby?
The brain is more functional. The brain is more functional than right now, than our age. the more problem solving.
What about the baby? You still talking about the adult?
That's what I'm talking about. We ain't talking about the baby. I'm talking about the baby. Or I'm talking about the baby's brain.
Oh,
Baby brain, it's already been proven older people having babies of Down syndrome and all that other stuff.
I'm about to say that.
Those are risks. Those are
risks, big time risks.
They sure are.
Yeah, but they do be coming out, you know, when they be old, you be like, they do tell you that. I don't know if it's because the person is older and they ain't really taking care of their body.
Looking like an old man.
No.
Talk about no Down syndrome. I'm not talking about no
Down syndrome and all that is usually in cases where the mother has not had children before.
That's her first.
They don't see that when the mother has had children, you know, from earlier ages,
right,
to having Down syndrome kids.
It's like your first child at like age 50.
Right. That's when they're concerned.
Yeah.
When the mother has not had children before.
Old selfish people.
Those old selfish people. Hey, put this stuff on me.
I'm gonna tell you, I know a bunch of them. Old selfish people.
No, it's not a selfish.
He said you should have did that in your 30s. Your 20s.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man.
Well,
having kids in your teens or early 20s to your 30s, like everything changes. It's so much better. Cleo.
You even have money because, like, you know, when you think about it, like, I couldn't even really afford any children in the ages of the 20s. Of course, you know, certain people can't, depending, like, there's a lot of, like, the ages change. You know, a lot of 20-year-olds are millionaires now, you know, because of AI and technology, you know. But still, the point is that at that age, you know, it's like, around 35, you know, now, like my son, I had to bring him to get a root canal. I have insurance and everything. You see, I got braces. They're like, my friend's like, you got braces at 41 years old. Well, I can pay for them now.
Yeah, my sister got her braces when she was about 50.
Moral of the story, nobody on this podcast.
Lord have mercy.
Nobody should be having kids right now. Nobody.
I might end up pregnant in 2 years.
Hey, well, haven't you seen situations where people, a couple get together in their late 30s or whatever, and the woman just says, I want to have his baby.
If this is involved, then that's what.
Put that down.
If this
Put
is
that
involved,
down.
Thank you, AJ.
Thank you. No.
Sometimes it's simply because they just want to have a baby with that.
Thank you.
Because they're selfish.
Not at that age.
What if they don't have any kids? Is it still
I'm just impressed. I mean, to me, it sounds more like one of those things that they, as a gift, they want because of the person.
I think, you know,
because I can't identify with that whole idea of I want to have his baby, but then, ladies, you help me out here. Does it become one of those things?
If you got money, then of course you don't want to have it.
Yeah,
I think I just
maybe I should have picked somebody with money.
What if you don't have any kids?
This is the answer to what you're saying, bro.
There you go, AJ, right there.
I should have found a 50 Cent, have a baby by me, be a millionaire. I should have found a 50 Cent.
I think he got a few more kids than he would like to admit to.
I think I like April's answer too. I know she mentioned if you have two people that just happen to find each other later in life and they don't have children at all, they want to experience it. They want to experience raising a child.
Statistically,
Ask Cleo, was that selfish? If they didn't have any
Cleo,
kids,
answer that question.
And you got married at an older age, is it selfish to have kids?
Yes, it is.
So they
should just not have kids.
That's right. Just enjoy each other.
What's the cutoff point then, Cleo?
Huh? Enjoy each other and your nieces and your nephew. Turn them into your kids.
What if you don't have?
No. Somebody got somewhere down the line.
Somebody,
buddy or somebody.
So those are the people that should adopt. Huh? They should
I was older when I had kids for the first time. I mean, like my son was born when I was 44, around the time I was 44, and that was my first kid ever. And then we had 3 more.
But how old was the woman?
She was
young.
How old was
stuttering already? She was in her 32.
She was 20 something. She was 24.
Yeah. Wait, one more time.
That's 20
years apart.
25 when she had my son.
And how old you say you was?
I was 40. I was almost 44.
That's too old to have kids. But
No, it's not.
For me, I'm talking about me, not you. You had it at 44. For me, it's too old.
On a whole nother subject.
I'm glad I had them when I did.
I got grandkids at 44.
Well, that's you. But I wasn't ready for no kids. In fact, I was in a better place mentally.
But was the kid in a better place? Yeah, he had everything but a daddy.
There's no way.
You were too old to be a real daddy.
Oh no!
Oh yeah!
I played with all of my kids.
No, I done seen. You played with him like a granddaddy.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No,
I done seen it 100 million times.
You've seen it 100 million times, but see, like me, hey, Dave,
Put him on mute.
answer that because you ran into me when we met 10 years before my first child was born, and I was running around there, running circles around them young men.
I'll say about Frank,
I do that too, but I'm still a granddad.
But
I was running circles around people at 44.
The Army kept Frank young. I'll admit that. Now,
Frank was looking like a 20-year-old.
This is
actually that 24-year-old.
See, this is another. Okay,
he was like, he looked good, honey.
See, I wish I had this question down. Cleo, it's almost like you're saying age discrimination, like you can't be a dad at 45 or whatever.
No, man. No, let me tell you something. I had a younger brother way down beneath me.
Okay.
A younger brother.
Uh-huh.
I knew him, but I never knew him.
Know him.
You understand what I'm saying? So you're cheating the child.
Yeah. So he's experienced it as being a child in a situation where he had siblings with a parents. So he's speaking from like an experience as a sibling.
Exactly.
You know, its impact.
I understand.
It is what you make of it because my kids are
right
13
now,
and 10 years apart, and they have a great relationship.
Yeah, I was same thing. I
had a great relationship, but not as a brother, as somebody handling a small kid. It wasn't like the brother next to me.
Huh. My oldest sister is 11 years older than me. We still have a wonderful relationship.
You probably did, but as a child, you did not know her.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
You did. You knew her,
In fact,
but you
I
didn't know her.
No, I learned a lot of lessons from her. Like when she used to get a spanking, I was right there watching it, and I avoided that.
If you had a brother older than that 11-year-old guy, you would have been a totally different relationship.
No,
well, I didn't have no brother.
Yes, indeed. Don't tell me, Miller. I got brothers right under me.
That's you, Bailey.
That's who I'm talking about, me.
Everybody ain't like you, Bailey.
That's who I'm talking about.
But that's you.
Exactly.
But still, you can't see.
I'm talking about me.
Yeah, well, but your experience in growing up was different from mine. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's the moral of the story. Like what Nia said, it's what you make of it. It depends on the environment.
I'll say
because there were things I would want to ask my mom or my dad, but it was easier to ask my sister because then they wouldn't really,
because she was like a mom and still of a sister.
She was 11 years older than me.
She was like a mom and still of a sister. That's the only point I'm
No, she was my sister.
You could not go to that young 11 years under you and talk to him like you could talk to your brother that was 2 years younger than you.
I don't know.
It was a totally different relationship.
Well, I didn't have that experience because I didn't have anybody.
Well, I'm telling you, I had that experience.
Okay,
I had a brother right under me, and I had a brother 12 years younger than me. Mm-hmm. And it's a totally different relationship.
it ain't no totally different relationship.
I will say, I'm 6 years older than my next sibling, 6. But then after then, like by time, like my baby sister, like we cool, but I didn't really grow with her.
There you go. That's all I'm saying.
I get the point. Like I love her now that we're grown.
There you go.
But as a child, we didn't have a childhood experience. And that's what I think he's talking about. Like the three under me, I'm 6 years. I was the oldest 6 years of my mother's kids. Then my mother had the other 3 back to back. They're close. They were in the house together. Me, by the time I was going off in college, they had me not even wanting kids, watching them get. I was like, I don't want no kids. This is what having kids like. But I don't know what happened.
That's all I'm saying right there. You put it in a nutshell.
All right, y'all. I'm going to segue into the next question here. And I mean, obviously, it's safe to say, you know, every situation can be different. Okay, so keeping the theme as far as children go. Why do you, and I want input from everybody on this, not at the same time, but why do you think there are so many children born in the United States out of wedlock?
Easy.
They need Jesus.
Because it is right here.
Culture.
Oh,
like they did.
There you go. That alcohol right there.
No.
And it's easier to have them out of wedlock because it ain't no marriage involved.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cleo, I'm hearing you saying because rates of marriage are lower. That's what I'm hearing.
Exactly.
Well, what do you say, Frank?
Well,
that's what I said.
What do you agree with that, AJ?
It's like a game. It's like a game. Well, it's part of that game. You know, the game that boys play. You know, they want that first experience, and they keep telling her, no, it can't happen the first time you do have sex with somebody. You can't get pregnant like that. Next thing you know, surprise.
That's how my oldest got here.
See?
I ain't never had that, bro.
I mean,
you got good timing?
My first one was planned, but before then, I ain't never had that problem.
You just got good timing, or you just born fortunate?
Say that. You can say that. I would say pretty lucky, pretty damn lucky.
Yeah, but what about the men that be trying to get the women pregnant? I got men always trying to get me pregnant. Talking about you gotta have my baby or that. I'm sorry. I ain't have no more kids. That's how I thought. But
I don't know. That should be the first red flag.
No, the red flag is you supposed to have been on birth control before you lay down with him.
Man, there you go.
You shouldn't have depended on him.
Birth control ain't what it used to.
It's not. Yep, we don't say it's not 100%, but it helps.
No, with the way that it
if you lay down with me with no birth control, I wasn't trying to get you pregnant. You were trying to get pregnant.
That women who are on birth control pick the most feminine, ridiculous men over more masculine men, and it's all because of birth control screws around with, the inside
do your hormones all off.
Yeah, so then you end up picking losers. Like, okay, I was 16. I was the first time I ever had sex, boom, found out I was pregnant.
You didn't pick that. You picked that man before you had sex with him.
Yeah, guess what? He's a loser, and
but you picked him before you had sex.
But I did not marry.
You didn't know he was a loser.
No
yes,
way.
she did know it. She knew it.
I
didn't want
to. I did knew. I just wanted to hurry up and get it over with. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I was just like, I don't see what the big deal is. My friends are all talking about it.
Yeah.
Boom. Here comes the baby. I decided to have the baby. He was like, I want to be uncle. I said, whatever. Like, so from the get-go, we were never going to be there. But it is so much easier to co-parent these days and to raise a child together but separate than it is to get married and then do all of that. Because people look at marriage as it's just the government being involved into your life, and a piece of paper shouldn't matter, and things like that. I've been married 3 times, so I can't say that I've ever been lucky in love. But I'll tell you, before I had my youngest son with the man who I am now with, who was an angel, I first told him, I said, there's no way I'd ever get married again, but I would have a baby with you.
Yeah.
So you have to think of this concept. It was easier for me to be a single parent, working myself. I had my own house, my own car, everything, taking care of my kids. Their dads weren't really involved, so I never really had to worry about the whole child support thing. So I didn't have the baby daddy drama either. And so I told him, I was like, I just don't ever want to get married again. I've already been burned twice. This ain't for me. That's not for me. But I love being a mom, so I would much rather do that. And I felt like that was my calling too, because you also have to remember, our generation, we were raised in that cusp of go to college, but your goal is to be married and be a mother. Like, right. So we were taught to be a mom and all these things that have to do with being a housewife and a mom, while they're still trying to open up the doors for us to go to college. So for me, that's all I knew life was, I want to be a mama. So that's probably why a lot of the U.S. marriages aren't
that's the culture.
Statistics are going down.
Thing. Like, yeah, we're not.
Hey, Miller.
Yeah.
That's the definition of a selfish woman right there.
No, it's not.
Every damn child in America needs their father.
Hey, he chose not to be in it, but I didn't believe in abortion, so I was not about to compromise my faith and my values because a mistake was made.
What do you, April?
Three more men came in the picture and they still wasn't fathered.
April, what do you say? What do you think?
I mean, I agree with Nia. I mean, it's pretty much the culture now. Like, people would rather be single mothers, single parents, or whatever, than to try to get married. I mean, she right.
Great definition of selfish.
I mean, it may be selfish.
Why?
But it is. So,
I mean, I think it's because I mean, if you think about it, as far as marriage, yeah, a lot of people view marriage as just a business contract, pretty much these days. And okay, let's look at it. So 1980, you got 18% of children born out of wedlock. 1990, it jumped up to 28%. And then 2022, it jumped up to 40%. So you're talking about 2 out of every 5 children born in the United States are born out of wedlock. Now, I mean, I think there's a number of reasons, but I would say most of them are probably tied to morality. But you know, when you look at marriage, I mean, the number one cause of divorce is communication problems. So kind of like what Nick's saying about what's that?
Infidelity.
What's that?
I would say it was more infidelity than anything else.
I mean, but even with infidelity, you know, people
starts
forgive
with
each other.
Communication.
You can forgive someone for stepping out. It happens all the time.
Yeah, it does. I forgave mine.
Can't forgive no woman for stepping out.
I'm just telling you, it happens.
I mean,
a woman can, yes. A man can.
What was that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well,
because the men say they can, but when you tell them, it just plays in their head.
No.
I mean, but men are more narcissistic.
In their head.
Men are more naturally narcissistic anyway. That's a limitation that most
different
men have.
for a man stepping out and a woman stepping out.
What's that?
It's different.
How's it different?
I'm putting stuff in you. You're not putting nothing in me.
Well, my girlfriend did tell me
different.
that. I will say, when my ex-husband told me, my friend, I was so hurt.
Wow.
And she told me, yeah, he cheated on me. She told me, she said, girl,
I'm putting stuff in you. I can't just.
She felt like I shouldn't be hurt really because it meant nothing to, like, she was like, that, like, for him, he got weak. That, like, a man loves who he loves. That's what I feel. I don't know, y'all could correct me, but I believe that a man loves who he loves. He could lay with and be like, but I really want her. Because I even got a homeboy who he loves his baby mother. He wants to marry her, but she doesn't feel the same about him. But he's with another female right now. He was like, he said he'll never marry this girl. He said that if his baby mother get herself together, he wants to marry her. He says his heart is still with her.
All right, James.
I guess it is different. But we're more emotional. Like, when we lay with you, you had to kind of like, I feel like for a woman, like, we had a relationship with you. Some women, I got some cousins that they act just like men. I don't know where they came from.
All of them act like men in their days.
Oh, that's the previous episode. Go ahead, James. Go ahead. What you got?
Well,
I mean, I think,
I,
I mean, I think,
I,
I
I,
think,
I, 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 I,
I
Hello.
Raven, on some of the stuff. Barely, I can't believe none of that stuff that you're saying, man. I just don't. First of all, in order for a man to be with a woman, to stay with that woman, he got to be in love with that woman. If he's in love with that woman, he's not going out nowhere. He's not going to step out on Tom, Dick, and Harry, Sue, Peter, Paul, and Mary. You see what I'm saying?
Love ain't got nothing to do with going out having sex, Miller.
Hold on, Cleo, hold on.
Love plays a big role into that, man. It's the difference of loving somebody and being in love with someone. If you're in love with someone, you is not gonna step out on your wife, your girlfriend, your fiance, whatsoever.
Not intentionally.
Yeah.
Sometimes like you love her, he holding it back from you like a man. Sometimes y'all getting that stage, be 10 years in, and the situation is right, and you may get weak, even though you love her. That's what we talking about. Like, so for a man, you can do it.
You saying you love her. I say in love. In love, you're not going to do that. That's a difference. That's a big difference.
It has nothing to do with love.
It does too.
Nothing whatsoever.
Yeah, I could see that though. When you in love, in love is deep.
My dad never stepped out on my mom. My mom and daddy was married for over 50 years.
You don't know, Miller, back in them days, that's all they did was step out, but women accepted it.
No. My mom won't want to accept none of that.
I guarantee you, your daddy got outside kids just like everybody else daddy.
No, he don't. No,
yes, he does.
Dang,
no, he don't.
You make Cleo upset.
It's true though.
That's what they did back then. Women accepted it. They knew it, and they accepted it.
Oh, stop. Y'all friends. Y'all stop.
Please. No, I know my dad didn't step out on my mom. My mom
I don't know your daddy. I'm just saying, in those days, all men stepped out. The generation for me and you, all of them stepped out. All of them.
No.
All of them.
No.
The preachers, the teachers, all of them.
First of all, if you put your mind into it and say, this is the woman I want, I'm not going to do this and do that, you got to be strong-minded in order to do it. It's
no
your
such
heart
thing.
that
The same way that woman got her, the same way that a woman got him, another woman can get it. No such thing.
No, sir.
Marriage is the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
No, sir.
Thank you.
No, sir. I disagree with you,
but when you in love, it does make it that much easier.
You only in love for 2 or 3 times, and after
it's
that,
got to be in love on both ends too. Because what if you're married to somebody and you're in love with them, and you said what you said, James? If you're in love with somebody, you're not gonna step out on them, right?
Exactly.
So what if you find out that the person you in love with stepped out? You still not gonna step out, or what you gonna do?
If she's not in love with you, both of y'all, first of all, both of y'all got to be in love together.
But what if
you got to look at it. We got to look at it. If you go to the book
answering the question, James.
Regardless if you're in love, you still can step out on somebody.
What if it's not equal on both ends?
If it's not equal on it, she wasn't meant for you. She wasn't meant for you.
But you still in love with her.
If you said if you was in love with somebody, you ain't stepping out. So if you find out that she's stepping out on her, you gonna step out because she doing, or you just?
No, I'm not. I won't step out whatsoever. First of all, we'll talk. Like y'all say, communication is the key to every relationship. Okay, honey, what's going on? Why are you doing this, or why are you doing that? If she can't give you a legitimate answer, then step out.
No, you gotta have those honest, like hard but honest conversations, and you have to be vulnerable. And nobody actually wants to be vulnerable anymore.
And especially a man.
Wait a minute.
Big time.
Vulnerable? They're more vulnerable now than they were back then.
Those ain't men you talking about, though. Those things nowadays ain't. Man, come on,
but a lot of it has to do with your
vulnerable now than they were back then.
Yeah.
Because they're not men.
I agree with you.
Women are wearing the pants in 99 and 10% of the
because of the facade of feminism.
Because
y'all raised them to be that way.
Not mine.
Women are wearing the pants even back then.
Hey, what?
Women been wearing the pants for years now.
No, for years. Yeah.
For years now. Men used to go out in public and talk all kinds of stuff when they come home. Yes, dear. Yes.
Oh, those wasn't men.
Yes. Oh, yeah, they were.
No.
Okay, what were they?
No.
What were they?
I don't know what they were, but they weren't men. Because back when I was growing up, and I grew up.
There you go.
When I grew up.
Yeah, he said I grew up.
So
when I grew up, it didn't happen like that.
Oh,
when you came home, when you went out in the street, you was a man. When you came home, you was a man. That's how I grew up.
Huh. No,
you know, ass whoopings.
Lucky because somebody didn't get no grits thrown on them. Because I know a bunch.
I
of
never
men
had that to
used
worry
run
about
out
because I was the man in the house.
Man or schman. If that woman is mad, you better make sure you sleep in another room.
No,
There you
sir.
go.
Mr.
Yeah,
Frank,
but
you done had some
That was not a man.
Yes, sir.
It's
Oh, yeah.
not just like a woman scorned.
Wait,
Yeah, that wasn't a man.
It's a lot of dead men out there then. Because
They weren't men.
there's a lot of women that went out there and killed men for the same thing, for love.
I'm still here. Let's do it that way.
Love and happiness.
Because you ain't had nobody love you that much.
I'm still here.
Right.
All right, y'all.
I don't know. Like, who hurt you,
God,
Cleo?
you still here.
Right.
All right.
By the grace
This,
of God, because I'm telling you,
Uh-huh.
Okay.
it's a lot of dead men out there.
It's a lot of dead people. They weren't men.
No, they was men.
Because a man would have had control.
A man ain't gonna have that no
It's not
control
about
over her mind.
control.
It is about control.
No,
All right, y'all.
no, because if she
No, it's
finds
not.
Let's get to this next question. Hey, y'all. Okay, so now this question is actually connected kind of to the first one. Can children break up relationships? And what I mean by
Yes.
that is, I'm saying
Yep.
relationships, marriage, any kind of relationship. Can
Yep.
children
Yep.
break them
Yep.
up?
Yep,
Yeah,
Yep,
they call
yep,
all
that's
kinds of-
exactly how my
they
second
do it all the
marriage
time.
What'd you say, Nia?
I said that's how, and in a roundabout way, that's kind of how my second marriage ended.
Oh wow, okay.
So my oldest son did not like him. I didn't see the red flags. I should have saw them, but of course, when you're dumb and in love, and you're like, "Oh, my high school
Love is
sweetheart,"
blind.
and yes, honey, so blind. Yeah. So he started being verbally abusive, and then it kind of like kept going up till he threatened to put his hands on my child, and then that's when we got into a big physical, him and I, because I was trying to protect my kid. But the whole time, my son told me that they were plotting for our demise, one way or the other. So,
Gotcha.
So you let
what you
your kid
will.
control the relationship.
no, they saw things that I should have been like, nah, that's not okay. That's not acceptable. So, like, being drinking too much, being physical with me, those types of things. But like,
Physical stuff you're supposed to get out of a relationship.
yeah, but
Yeah.
for me,
Same.
it's a lot easier said than done, and I didn't really have my bearings straight, so it wasn't that easy. However,
Yeah.
now that I've been divorced from this guy, my kids did say that they tried to make things so much harder so that I would leave because I wasn't seeing what they were seeing, if that makes sense.
So your kids was like indirectly sabotaging because they really wanted you to, because they were like, "Mom, no." Yeah. Like, this ain't the
The
guy.
kid was in control of the relationship.
But then
Nah.
sometimes, what about when you're married? Just, that was a situation. Sometimes they cause issues with really good people that are in really good relationships. And, just the kids itself, like either like, busting in the room. Like when you have children, like say for instance, that's that, just y'all don't have no time together. Your sex life be interrupted. When it comes to make a decision for the kid, like the mother may feel like it's not that serious. So like now you got to constantly yield to the man out of respect for him. So now y'all in conflict over the kid's decision. Like I think my people was just arguing the other day. They had a big fight over the kids' grades. It's just like, I think kids only cause problems when adults allow it.
There you go.
Yeah, it's I've seen situations where like both of the parents in the house are the biological parents of the children, and I've seen those relationships break down because they disagreed on certain parenting. So
yeah, like me and my ex-husband, he's like, I know if we would still be married, we would have an issue because I'm like, I want me and the kids to keep the Sabbath day holy. And he's like, we ain't doing that. They ain't going. So now when the kids go with him, he don't allow them to keep the Sabbath. But when they're with me, they keep the Sabbath. So even in co-parenting, but it's easier because of course we're in a separate household. But even if we were in the same household, like we would not be good. We would literally be arguing over that,
So why didn't you follow your husband?
I'm supposed to, yes.
But why didn't you? Is what I asked.
Well, we're not together now, so that's why I said.
No, I'm talking about when you was together. When he was trying to raise them one way and you told him the other way, why didn't you follow your husband?
At that time, I wasn't educated on the Sabbath day, so I was a Sunday keeper as well. So since we've been divorced, I just started this. So he feels like, oh, this is new. But my education, knowledge is power. The more you know better, you do better. So, that was my desire. But at the time, I followed my husband a lot in the relationship. And sometimes it hurt me and the kids, but I would yield to him. Like, for instance, it could be the ice cream truck, okay? It's the ice cream truck. The kids want ice cream. And he's like, no, we can go buy a tub of ice cream and get... We want the experience of the ice cream truck. It's not about going out and buying a container of ice cream. Of course, we can do that. But I would yield to him, and I come home, I feel bad for the kids. I'm like, I don't want to get... It just was depressing as the woman, always yielding to the men, because sometimes it's like, yeah, you yield to them, but sometimes y'all are so, just see one way. Women, we see like options, I don't know.
What you got, AJ?
Yeah, you married.
So you know what he gonna do.
You married, AJ.
He probably says yes, honey.
But I know, and I know you're young in your parenting situation.
With kids.
I guess I was just asking about, maybe family or friends, if you've seen issues where the kids caused the home to break up.
Yeah.
I mean, don't we have like movies based off of that with Lindsay Lohan?
Absolutely.
The Parent Trap. There you go.
I can't recall any of that. I don't think I've ever seen the kids ruining a relationship. I mean, I've seen instances where the stepfather, he steps in and tries to be the father to the kids, but then you got the kids, oh, you're not my dad. They want to talk to him crazy and stuff. So the woman loses a good man, loses a great guy. So I've seen those instances, but as far as kids ruin relationships like that,
Do you feel like they lose a great guy, AJ? In that situation, like the stepfather, that's a great guy. He come in, do you think it's because the woman doesn't like step in and let the kids know like the boundaries? Actually, yeah, me too. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But you got to realize that go both ways, though, AJ.
How so?
That go both ways.
This man stepped in and started providing for kids that not even his and loved them like it was his own, but to be disrespected was out of the picture. If that kid telling you, you're not my daddy, and no, I'm not going to do what you say. Now, it started off good until that kid started staying weekends with his father and came back with a totally different attitude. Even the mom was like, oh, this is not true.
And it's funny you said it, AJ.
And take care of you like you his own. Oh.
I think, and what you're saying, AJ, I mean, that's every stepfather's nightmare. If a stepfather is trying to do right by someone, and then a child says, I don't have to listen to you. You're not my daddy. That's a nightmare situation.
Yes, and that's where that mother has to step in and reaffirm that man.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Right. And tell the child he may not be your daddy, but he's a daddy figure, and you will learn to respect him as if he is a father to you.
Yeah.
And you got to teach them, like, children, you have many fathers, okay? We got many men that step in your life, and maybe if we have more fathers, the kids will be a bit better.
Thank you.
They need to understand they got many fathers, okay?
What you got, Cleo?
Me, that's the mama's job. Hey, your daughter's being bad over here. Come get her.
Yeah.
You ain't got no business trying to be the daddy to nobody else's child.
No, so okay, how about this? Your kid is acting up. Mom sets a boundary. She's like, maybe I'll kind of ease off and be a little bit lenient. Stepdad says, no, mom said this is how it's going to be, so this is what it's going to be. What, they're just not supposed to listen to the man of the house? Who's a good man, providing, and is only enforcing what you said.
Still a mama's job.
But, no, it's not.
I think the two adults have to have each other's back, and they have to communicate.
Not if you want the kids to stay in a good place, you leave it to the mama.
What if dad is in the life?
And I've done it before, so I know.
Well, that's you.
That's all I can talk to is me. That's what I keep saying. It's me. I done it. Mama tell me to talk. No, well, you should do that. No, I should not. Because they're going to hate me for telling them when they're not going to hate you for telling them.
So you've been a stepdad before, Cleo?
Yes, ma'am.
Bye.
And when stuff go down, I call the mama.
I was raised by a stepdad, but I was raised, but it's different. It depends on when they come in your life too. When they come in, the child is younger versus when you come in, like, I had a guy that came in my life, my kids are teens. Little different, like my middle boy, he really liked the guy, they kind of got some, repertoire a little bit with playing basketball and, just really cool. But my baby boy wasn't filling up, he loved his daddy. He, in his head, he felt like maybe this man was here to replace his daddy. But maybe I failed in sharing and letting him know, like, this man isn't here to replace your daddy. Maybe once the kid, and even this conversation is helping me reflect a bit, because he was cool, but he wasn't feeling him. He would have never been his daddy. He probably would have never been able to tell him to do nothing either. But I think I would have been able to fix it if I had the conversation, like let Tristan know, like my son know, like, respect him. He's cool. You know what I'm saying? He's here to help mommy. You know what I'm saying? So when your sons and your daughters realize that the man is there and making you happy, I think they change. Kind of like with Nia's situation, they seen that this man wasn't a good thing. So then they're like, nah, we don't like him. He ain't good. But when you come in as a stepdad and you good peoples and the kids kind of see that, I think it rubs off on them. Because my husband, my ex-husband has a girl. I'm abstinent single. I just decided to take a step back, all the way back, focus on me. But he has a female, and the kids are like, I got a little jealous a little bit, but they were like, oh, she's nice. I'm like, whatever, but I was happy at least, but it lets me know, like, the kids recognize when these step parents are good people.
Gotcha. All right, James, we're going to give you the last word on this subject before I close it out. What's your thoughts on that? Children ruining relationships. You ever seen?
What she said? Yes, I have. Yes, as a matter of fact, I was part of that. When my dad passed away, my mom was dating a man, Mr. Pitt. I was 28 at the time, and my mom told me to something, and then he got all hissy fit, and then he wanted to put his hands on me. First of all, you're not going to do that. Yeah. And then I knew he was a player as well too. So I told my mom, and she had a conversation with him, and at that time, that's when he wanted to put his hand, because he asked me, why did I go back and tell my mom what he was doing? You see what I'm saying? If you want to be with my mama, you got to be right. You wasn't the right one for her. So and then I think about a month later, my mom caught him in the act. In her house. You don't bring no woman, to a mama's house. No, because he wanted to shack up and all this and all of that. And then my mom realized, because when I told her the first time, she didn't believe me. But when she saw that for herself, then she understand, because she put me out at that time as well too when I told her, you know. So, but you also got to realize, what about the stepmoms? You know, some kids are going, "You're not my mama," or this and that. Y'all don't look at one side of the picture. You got to look at both sides of the picture. You know, that's where a lot of us fail at. You know, we look at one side of the house instead of looking at both sides of the house. You know, so, you know, and that Bailey situation, next time put his stuff on me. Don't let him talk about nothing.
Well, I'll tell you, a 28-year-old man getting in a grown person business, that should be the talk right there. But
to my mama.
I don't care who it is.
I'm
You ain't got
protecting
no
my
business
mama.
at 28 years old getting in no grown folk business.
I told my kids that they was all in my phone talking about who I'm texting. I was like, y'all out of place.
Exactly. You definitely
Don't
No,
tell
no,
me who to date. If I want to get cheated on, let me get cheated on.
Somebody get knocked out.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody gonna get
So you trying to
knocked out.
tell me, Billy, if something happens to your mama, you want to protect her?
Or how a man? That's different. You ain't talking about putting hands on her. You talking about somebody out there cheating. Yeah, I would let that shit go. As long as my mama happy, I'm happy for her.
And she catch it in your house, and you.
No,
she
that's
catch
a
it in your
different
household.
story, Miller. But I'm talking about the first part of the story. I'm talking the first part, not the second part. There's a totally difference if he gonna bring another man.
But see, you gotta realize this: a child knows when somebody's right for their parents.
No, dog, because what's right for you don't mean it's right for me. Even though I know he got things wrong with him. Every person got something wrong with him.
I'm not your child though.
But every person got something wrong with him. Every person. Somebody can find fault in anybody.
I got you.
What's wrong with you?
It depends on what the fault is, though. You know, like
yeah.
So some men are just dogs, just players, and if you have boys, as a son with your mother, you know how y'all are. Men are over y'all moms. You like, nah,
I talk to the man, but I wouldn't talk to my mama.
Yeah.
Me and the man might have conversation, but me and the mama ain't gonna have a conversation. And what you do, as long as I don't see it, but if you bring it in my face, then we got a problem. That's a different story.
That's what I was saying.
But I'm not going back to my mama and telling her, hey, man, leave this guy alone, he cheating. They ain't gonna do it, but just like you and me, one of them to one or more. Yeah, like,
no.
You gonna get kicked out like he did.
There you go, gonna get kicked out.
Like, hey, he was like, listen, honey.
But when she found out, that I was telling her the truth, then she came apologizing and all this and all of that, you know, and I accepted that. And he was out the door.
Yeah, well, two different. I can't do it.
Your room back?
Huh?
I said, did you get your room back?
Oh, I got the house.
Room back?
Ah.
I got the house. The house is mine. Huh?
And she's still in it?
Oh no, my mom passed away this year.
Oh, sorry.
She just passed, right? Yeah, sorry to hear that. We had that kind of,
Yeah. So
All
I
right,
got the
y'all.
house.
It's like unintentionally, this episode ended up being a personal relationship episode. I'll have to plan the next personal relationship episode on purpose. Keep the comments coming. We would like to thank our special guests for sitting in tonight with us. It's much appreciated. Some topics are more explosive and abrasive than others. I wanted to have an expanded panel tonight to kind of bounce ideas
and it was good too. I enjoyed all three of them.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. Thanks for your time. We're gonna go ahead and sign off, and then we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks a lot. Now.
All right, y'all have a good night.
All right, good night, y'all.
All right, now.
Good night, guys.
Peace.